Okay, welcome to E306, Semiconductor Device Fundamentals. You are section 02. Section 01 was at 8 o'clock in the morning. 02 is at 9 o'clock in the morning. The way I teach, I use technology in the classroom. I have this computer here on my left, this monitor, and extend it to this digital writing tablet. So anything I write on here is mirrored on the projector screens in front of you. So I use this as a digital board, okay? Digital board. Then I also broadcast this on Zoom, hence the Zoom meeting that you might have seen on the website. Only the shared screen, meaning this, what you see on the projector is broadcast, nothing else, and the sound of my voice. Okay. And then that is also recorded and posted online on YouTube for students to view. So you can attend class, you can take the class in 3 different modalities. You can take it live and in person. You can attend online live at 9 o'clock. Or if you choose to do neither of those, you can just watch the videos at a later point in time. It's up to you. Okay. My course is designed with UDL principles. UDL simply is Universal Design for Learning, meaning you use a wide range of tools and technologies to benefit a wide range of learning styles, right? No student is the same, right? No 2 students are the same. So everybody learns in a different manner. So the setup of my course, setup of my teaching style is that it benefits the students. So you have a wide range of learning styles among the 36 students that I have in this classroom, and you can pick and choose which one works best for you. Okay. So let me bring up, having said that, let's go directly into the class website, and then I'll talk about attendance, and from there we'll go into the syllabus. So if you have not yet taken a look at the class website, please do so at your earliest convenience. This website can be viewed on a laptop, desktop, or any mobile device. It'll work on any smartphone, any tablet on the Canvas app. This front page is probably unlike what you may have seen in the past with other classes. There are no modules that you can see or access directly. Everything that you need is on the front page, okay? And so some of the links from the left are duplicated on the right. Basically, like syllabus is the same as the link on the left. And then I was talking about Zoom. So the Zoom passcode right here, you need a passcode to log on to Zoom. And then the meeting links are on the left. It's the same class meeting for section 01, 02 for the entire quarter. Okay. The only thing this does is basically gives you a reminder. That's all. That begins at 8 o'clock. Is the same class meeting. Okay. You are the 9 a.m. batch, so it's section 02. But this Canvas site is a merged site of 2 sections. And the way Canvas is set up, it only shows 01. It will not show 02. But it's still your course, okay? And that's what I have right at the top. It is meant for both sections, 01 and 02. All right, syllabus is right here. Let's go to attendance participation. Okay, so the course is live and asynchronous, basically like any other normal lecture class that you've ever taken. It's live and in person in the classroom, but there are 2 other options. You can attend online, or you can not attend at all and just watch the lecture videos. You are all adults. This is an option that's available to everyone. You do not need to ask any special permission. You do not need to send me an email about this. You can come in person one day. You can go online the next. It's absolutely fine. You don't have to notify me, okay? You pick and choose what works best for you. Typically, when I've done classes in the past, I would see students in like the first day of class or the first week of class, and then I won't see them for the entire quarter, except for the day of the final exam. And so if that works for you, that's absolutely fine with me. It's not going to bother me. You can walk in and out of the classroom anytime you want. You are not going to offend me. If you want to eat and drink, that is fine. But again, keep it on the down low. Otherwise, I get in trouble. Meaning if there are like dark spills or water spills or liquid spills, especially on the floor, on the carpet, I have to answer for that. If you're going to eat, feel free to do so. Just make sure that it doesn't, doesn't make loud noises or affects anyone else, in the sense that if you have a plastic bag and you're opening it up. And if you're going to eat, bring me a donut. Yeah, just kidding. Anyway, so again, you can walk in and out of the room anytime you want. If you're running late, you're 15 minutes late, it's fine. Just walk in. Don't need to ask permission. Don't be hesitant to walk in. If you need to leave 15 minutes early, that is also fine. It's absolutely fine. If you need to use the restroom, you want to take a break, go take a walk, don't worry about it. Just make sure your cell phones are on silent. And when you enter or leave the classroom, you're not disturbing everyone else. That's all. Let's see, first week, the late homework. We'll talk about that later. Let's go here. Actually, you know what? Let's work backwards and go to assignments. And I just realized, oh no, I switched. That's good. Okay, so homework, assignments, exams, and late work policy. So your course grade is basically a standard grading scheme, A through F, right? 60s is a D, which is required minimum for passing. 70s is a C, 80s a B, and 90 or above is an A. Standard Cal Poly grading scheme. Your course grade is split into 3 parts: homework, quizzes, and the final exam. There are no midterm exams in my classes. Okay, what I found is that in the over several years of experience, students prefer if the material or the assessment tests are broken up into bite-sized pieces. So I have quiz every week. My target goal is about 7 to 9 quizzes in person in class. There might be several other ones that might be online solely. But again, homework, quizzes, final exam, and that's it. There is a lot of work to keep up with. This is a fundamental course on electronics. It is going to affect every other course that you take from now on. Okay, similar to 113. Okay, 113 is the first circuit analysis course. In that manner, 306 is the first semiconductor analysis course. Homework is worth up to 40% of your overall grade. Okay, it's not a small chunk. Quizzes worth another 40%, and the final exam is worth 20%. There is no single assignment or no single assessment in this course that will affect your overall grade in an outsized manner, meaning the final exam is not 30 or 40%. There's no single midterm that is worth 30%. Now, typical is like, okay, 10% for homework, 30% for midterm 1, midterm 2, and the final exam. And if a student messes up one of those, then the entire overall grade is below sea level, underwater. But anyway, so in this course, at least I alleviate student fears in the manner that no one single assignment or assessment is going to affect your course grade in an outside manner. So homework is worth 40%, quizzes are worth 40%, and final exam is worth 20%. Homework for this, well, actually, speaking of homework, let's go to the text. So the textbook for this class, department assigned, is a custom edition comprising of 2 books: Microelectronic Circuit Design by Richard Yeager and Blaylock, and then Analog and Integrated, Integrated Circuit Design by Frankel. Okay, so it's a custom package of Frankel and Yeager. So the custom edition package from the bookstore is about $200, actually $225. What I have done is I negotiated with McGraw-Hill to give me a digital package worth, it costs less than $50. I think $49.40 or $49.50. Now, purchase of this package is mandatory in my class. Okay, every student must purchase this this digital package. Do not buy the book package, the $200 package from the bookstore. Don't get that. This one is low cost option through Poly Access. I don't know how they set it up or how they do the low cost option, but they're still dealing with some issues. but the charges, I've been told, appear directly into the student account. Now, when I was a student and when I first heard that the professor is making me buy like a $50 or $60 package for like 10% of homework, the 10% of my grade, my first two thoughts would always be, I don't want to pay for this. And why is the professor being lazy? Just doesn't want to grade the homework. But that's not true in this case. I can always hire graders. The department can always hire graders for me to do homework. That's not the point. The point is, this is a very fundamental course, and I believe that the way I set up the course benefits student learning to the max. Okay, most of your learning throughout school, elementary school, middle school, high school, the first few years of college, most of your learning always happens outside of class, more so for higher education. Okay, if you think about it, you are halfway done with your academic career. 2 years done, 2 more years to go. By this time next year, you'll be thinking about applying to professional work positions, right? So you go to 4 years of college and then another 25, 30, 40-year career. You may take some classes after that. You may not take some classes. How do you learn new stuff? Learn by doing. You have to learn how to do by yourself. You have to learn by yourself. So that's a skill that you need to acquire while you're still in college. Okay. You have to learn how to learn. Does that make sense? My father graduated with mechanical engineering in India back in 1968, and he just recently retired, like a few years ago. So in all those years, he worked for the company that used to make industrial laundry equipment. Think like big, huge laundry machines that are the size of this big room. Then he changed companies, went to a different one that made like medical equipment. Skills are still the same, but he had to learn something new. Then you learn by yourself. Okay, and that learning happens when you do the homework. It's even more important for you to do the homework. So for me, in my classes, homework is not just a tool for like giving extra work for students. That is actually the prime focus. Okay, this is where you do most of your learning. All of the homework assignments, all of the quizzes, everything is geared to maximize your learning. Okay, and hence it is a big chunk of your overall grade. So yes, it's $50. Yes, students have to bear this additional financial burden, but I make it worth your while to have this. Okay. That being said, if you have any concerns, send me an email. Okay, contact me, speak with me, and then we'll address any concerns that you have. But again, it's a required purchase. If you are not dropping from this course, you want to stick with this class, then that is a required purchase. Okay. Again, as I said, it's two parts. There's the Connect assignments. So, and there's two textbooks. So they'll be reading material that will be assigned every once in a while. Okay. Any questions so far? Okay. So, as I said, it appears automatically in the student account. I don't know how, what form it takes, but it's apparently there's an opt-out button in there. But I want to again emphasize, please do not opt out, because once you opt out, you would have to end up spending more than $100 to get that. So don't opt out. Okay. This is a low cost package, and we have to get the bookstore involved. So the bookstore adds a little bit on there, like about $5 or $6 or $10 or something. I don't know how much they do. So it's two books in one. We had to go through a lot of negotiations over the summer to get this done. Okay. Homework counts for 40% of your overall grade. So you do the homework diligently, meaning you submit all the homework assignments. And again, I'll go into the details a little bit, and you will end up with a decent grade in the class. The flip side is, if you don't do the homework, you can't get a good grade in the class. Okay. So you have to keep up with the work throughout the quarter. Quizzes, again, 40%, about one quiz a week, and then maybe that is in-person quiz. And there may be some additional quizzes, but again, the same thing, counts for 40% of your overall grade. And at least 7 to 9 quizzes comes around to about 2 midterms or so. And so I've, from student feedback, always found that students prefer to have like a series of quizzes rather than like two big midterms. And so again, that's my philosophy that I bring to my classroom. Let's go to assignments and grading. Oh, actually, I was here. So the assignments are on McGraw-Hill's Connect system, right? And this allows me to actually implement flexibility in my course structure. Okay. This is not you hand in or you submit on Canvas and then we grade it. If you have it wrong, you might get a 0. You can't redo your work again. That defeats the purpose of learning. That defeats the purpose of the homework, which is actually to enable students' learning, right? So every single assignment, every single question on there has unlimited attempts. Okay? Unlimited attempts to get the right answer. Yes. So right now, I think there are some issues. So the question being asked is about accessing the textbook, but I think there are some issues with that. I'll talk about the Connect. So Connect app is enabled here on the left. I believe you go through there and it opens up this tab and you link through. I don't know how it appears at the student's end. I can't easily simulate that. And it's going to ask me here, and there's the ebook. You can access the ebook directly from there. And the second book, Franco, is accessed from the front page where it says e-text. I think I'll change that to Franco. And I think this hasn't been updated. There's some issues in their systems. I don't know what, but they told me that they're trying to fix it. Okay, so the two books, the Jaeger ebook is accessed via Connect, and the Franco is accessed via the front page in Canvas. And I'll, once I get done with the class today, I'm going to send them an email, find out what's going on. So as I was saying, the assignments on there, assignments are through Connect, and every single problem has unlimited attempts. You have unlimited attempts to get your answer correct. But every attempt has a small deduction of 3 percentage points, 3% of that problem points. Okay. But you go through 3 or 4 attempts, 5 attempts, and you're still not getting the right answer, you reach out to me and just contact me and let me know that something is wrong. Just help me. Okay. But again, everything is geared towards student learning. Okay. I don't want students to turn in the homework and earn like 50% and then done. You have a chance to learn until you get it right. Okay. And there's also the traditional component, like every attempt has a small penalty. Homework has a due date, but it's a flexible due date. Okay, so the homework is open till the end of the quarter. There is a due date, and after that due date, there is a small penalty of 5% on that assignment for every 24 hours that you are late. So you can submit the homework late anytime you want. It does not close. Okay, so for those of you who submit on time, you get 100% of what you earn. If you're late, it takes a 5% deduction of the overall, your points. Okay. Then let's see. Other rules on there. Again, late homework is accepted. So there's no need for asking for special permission or anything like that. Let's see. Scan and upload. Okay, so when you do online homework, sometimes there are questions that are broken up into several parts, like you enter the values. But to do that, to find those values, you perform some analysis. The assumption is you'll be working on paper or on your tablet, right? So the scan and upload is whatever work you do, scratch work, rough work, whatever work you have done, you scan that, create a PDF, and you upload it. Okay. So for every single Connect assignment that you do, you would have some work that you have done. You upload a PDF of that work. Okay. And that counts for up to 10% of your overall grade. And I call it a freebie because there is no penalty. There is no grading penalty on there. As long as the work is submitted, you get full credit. Okay, I won't deduct any points there. So 10% of your overall grade you get or you earn just for doing the work and uploading it. There is no penalty on there. Even if you get your answers wrong, there's no penalty on there. Okay. So that's 30 plus 10, that's 40%. And then we have the quizzes. Now, quizzes, homework, all homework assignments are collected together and totaled, one single total, and that counts up to 30% of your overall grade. So it's not individual homework assignments are not weighted individually. Okay, it's a one large point total, and it's all total together. One thing I forgot to mention about homework is there are several extra credit problems or extra credit questions in every homework assignment. Okay, every extra credit point that you earn counts towards that homework assignment, but there's no max cap limit. Whatever extra credit you earn from one homework can apply to another homework assignment. And if you earn more than 100% across all your homework assignments, that extra credit will apply to your overall grade. Meaning if you lose some points on quizzes or the final exam, any extra credit that you earn in the homework category will not be lost. It will be applied to your overall grade. Okay, again, maximize to the benefit of the students. Quizzes, they are live in person or they are live online. Okay, live online means you can sit anywhere in the world and you can take the quizzes as long as you join the Zoom meeting and have your cameras on. Okay, your cameras need to be on if you take the quiz online. There are some other rules at the bottom of this page. There are some rules that apply to everyone. There are some rules that apply only for online students. Okay, online students, as in like someday you might not feel like coming to class, you want to be online, be online. That's fine. You don't have to let me know. Okay. So online quizzes is the exact same thing, whether you take it in person in this classroom or you're taking it in your home, in your residence. You just have to have your camera on and join the Zoom meeting. Okay. And that's what I was referring to when I said students could take the entire class online and be absent for the entire quarter, show up only till the end. So again, attendance, I don't take attendance. I don't mandate attendance. You are all adults. You choose how you want to attend class. You can attend class live in person, or you can attend live on Zoom, or you can choose to do neither and just watch the recorded videos. I usually post the recorded videos by the end of the day of the lecture class. So today I get done at like 10 o'clock. Typically I might post it. If I don't have anything urgent going on, if I don't have any students waiting for me, I might get to it immediately, and within 10-15 minutes, the videos will be online. Okay. So that's for quizzes. And let's see. Final exam is mandatory. It's not optional. It's worth 20% of your overall grade. So a student can choose not to give the final exam, meaning they let go of the 20%, right? It does not affect your overall grade. You are not going to fail the class if you don't give the final exam. But it would be impossible to earn anything higher than a B plus, a B minus. So as an example, let's say you don't give the final exam, but you earn 100% with extra credit on everything else. So 20% of the final exam is 0. You earn a maximum of 80%. With a few points of extra credit, you cross 80. The maximum you would end up would be a B minus. Even that would be pushing it a bit. You would have to earn 100% on every single homework, on every single quiz, which is not impossible, but just difficult. So without the final exam, the maximum grade you would have is a B minus, realistically a C plus. Okay. So if you don't give the final exam, you're not going to fail the class, but you will not be able to cross higher than a B plus, B minus. So again, final exam is mandatory. It's not optional, and it is only in person. Okay, there is no online option. It's only in person. Quizzes and final exams are all open book, open notes. Okay, I've done this. I've unscientific study of my classes in the past few years, and there's not been any statistical. I wouldn't say statistical. There hasn't been any difference that I could see between a student who has no notes versus a student who has an equation sheet versus a student who has all open book and open notes. Okay, quizzes, in addition to being open book, open notes, are also open internet. Use all the resources you have at your disposal, except dial a friend. Okay, you're not on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Can't dial a friend. So use all the resources. If you get the answer from somewhere, you're only depriving yourself of your own learning. You're depriving yourself of your own education. So try, please don't do that. So I'm not going to monitor you. Again, you are adults. You choose what works best for you. You want to use your notes, use your notes. If you want to look up something on the internet, you can look up something on the internet. That's absolutely fine. I'm not going to monitor that. Okay. You decide what works best for you. Some students like to just have one single equation sheet and work it through there. Some students like to have the entire book with them or the entire notes that they have. So for quizzes, open book, open notes, open internet, show me your best work. Okay. If you forget an equation, you don't remember it, look it up. That's fine. But you should understand what that equation means, what the terms are in that equation, and how to use or implement that equation. Right? Make sense? Right? Final exam is open book, open notes, but no internet. If you have digital notes, take a printout. Right? Obviously, I can't go around, monitoring everyone. Take a printout or handwrite it. If you have notes that you're writing on your tablet, just take a printout of the few pages that you might need. Okay, but no electronic devices. Final exam, and this is something I'm not a fan of. Our final exams are at 7 o'clock in the morning. These are decided by Cal Poly way far in advance. Even the winter quarterfinal exams are already online. Okay, they have to prepare the schedules way in advance. Now you have three options when you can take the final exam. You are section 02, so your final exam is on a Wednesday of finals week, right here, from 7 to 10. If you wish to get done early, you have two options. You can take it on a Monday with the other section at 7 o'clock in the morning, or even earlier on the Saturday before finals week. Okay, so it's three options. And this option is available to every student in both my sections. Yes. Saturday final is 1 to 4. Saturday final is 1 to 4 right here in this room. And I don't envision that all 76 of my students are going to take the final on a Saturday. But if it so happens, then I'll have this room, I'll have 130, and I'll also open up 126. So I can also open up 132. So we have plenty of classrooms. But final exam will be in this room. You have three options. And Saturday final is, again, optional final. Monday is also optional. I will have a survey at the end of this page. Just an anonymous, just a form, Google form that you let me know on which day you would prefer to take the exam. Okay, that will allow me to prepare in advance and make sure I have printed exams. Okay, so read through everything at your own time. Here I'm, going over the most important points. Let's see, ID and rules and stuff. And again, I'll go over this on the last week of class also. Textbook, attendance, participant, instructor evaluations, course information, communication and office hours. hprada@calpoly.edu. That's my email. If you send me an email, please ensure in the subject line, write EE You don't even have to write EE. You have to write just 306-02. That's it. See, I'm teaching 306, 01, and 02. I'm also teaching 346, 01, 2, 3, 4. So there are lots of other students who will be sending me emails. It seems like a very small thing, but at my end, it makes a big difference. So I need to know whether, first of all, whether your student is referring to a lecture or to a lab. Oftentimes, the questions overlap. Then I have to go dig into the Canvas page. I have to go through multiple clicks to figure out which class the student is enrolled in and which class they are referring to. So again, if you're talking to me about the lab, just write in 346, 01, 2, 3, 4, whichever lab you may be in. For your lecture class, 306-02. Nothing else in the subject line. Everything else can just go in the body. Okay. Two things about using email. Always use your official Cal Poly email ID to contact Cal Poly faculty and staff. Two simple reasons. Oftentimes, your personal email addresses can get flagged by the spam filters and your email could go into spam. It happens. Even if you have used your personal email IDs for a long time, there might be a specific word in that email that might trigger the spam filters and divert your email. So your email never reaches, never reaches me or never reaches your other professors. Second, most important thing is anybody can spoof anybody's email. Okay, anybody in the world can create an email address called hirentrada@yahoo or hirentrada@outlook.com, hirentrada@ whatever email address, right? And they could send you an email about something. In that same manner, somebody could spoof your name and send me an email asking for your grades or some other personal information. Okay, so if I don't read the email header, I might inadvertently divulge some personal information about you to some third party. Okay, so please always ensure that you use your Cal Poly email IDs to contact all faculty and staff. My office hours, my schedule is right here. I typically am on campus every day from 8 to 5. Okay, but this quarter I will be arriving even earlier, so I'll be here from 7:15 onward every day. If you have a question, you can ask. You can stop by my office. If it's a few minutes, I'm happy to answer if you're here before 8 o'clock. But I'm in my office at 7:15 every day. And then you can see my schedules. On Tuesday, schedule is completely packed from 8 to 6. But if you have a question, you can still stop by. All the 346 labs are in room 148 on the other side, the far wing. So I'll be there all day long on Tuesdays. Okay, it won't be hard to track me down. So if you have a question regarding this lecture, you can feel free to come by there. Okay. The student hours that are listed here from 10 to 11:30 are guaranteed, meaning I will be guaranteed to be available in my office. The only time it takes me to go from here to my office, which is in room 117 of this building, right here, 117, which is in the middle prong, right opposite the SPL. I'm assuming every EE student is familiar with the SPL, right? Room 111. My office is just across the hallway, 117. I share my office space with 4 other professors. We have a common area for students to come in, meet all of us. Sometimes students just like to come and hang out, work on your homework assignments over there. So if you need a break from your day, just come by, say hi, stop by. Whether it's a question about class or just want to hang out, it's absolutely fine. Okay. My office is usually open. So I have an open door policy. Students can come in anytime they want. But the times listed as student hours, I'm guaranteed to be in the office. The other times, I might be out and around somewhere else. Might be in a different lab somewhere, might be talking to another professor, might be doing something else. But for the most part, between 10 and 11:30, unless I've gone to the restroom or maybe the department office to get some coffee, I will be in my office during those times. And because I'm arriving early every day, I might leave by 3 or 4 o'clock. So 7:15 to about 3, 7:15 to 4. So let's see. I designate my office as a safe place and a safe space for all students. So it's a safe environment for everyone, regardless of your background. Also has some stress relieving advice on the wall outside. Ivan must have seen it. Okay. Textbook is required purchase, the syllabus, communication, assignments, and grading. All right. All right, 9:46. Okay, official end of quarter evaluations. So how many of you try to fill out evaluations at the end of quarter, especially when students are busy? So good number, that's good. I appreciate that. But it doesn't really help you, right? Generations of students who came before you gave us feedback, and then generations of students who come after you will benefit from your feedback. So these are very important for us. These go into our official files. Okay, so always be honest and try to leave a line or two. These are completely anonymous. It does not collect any personal information. We do not even receive the evaluation responses until the beginning of the next quarter. Summer quarter ended on August 30th. Today is September 23rd. I still haven't received my summer evaluations. Okay. And when we receive them, the only thing we see is the number of responses and and basically the student comments. That's all. Okay, standard comments. One thing I'd like to especially point out, because everybody is not familiar with the evaluation schemes, and I realized this like in spring quarter, because one of my evaluations came back and it says I'm choosing 3 because I'm neutral or average. This was for like a specific week. This was my unofficial evaluations. And then it struck me that perhaps everybody is not familiar with the with the scheme. So 1 through 5 is the scale. 1 is the lowest, 5 is the highest, but 3 is not the middle. 3 is not neutral, it's not average. In the same way that 50% is not average. If a student earns 50%, it's a failing grade, right? 50% is halfway between 0 and 100, but no matter which university you go to, standard grading scheme, 50% is failing, is an F. So in that same manner, we have 1 through 5 for evaluations. 3 is in the middle, but 3 is not average or neutral. 3 is actually far below average. The actual department average is about 4.3 across all courses, undergraduate, graduate, thousands of students filling out this evaluation for every single quarter. Department average has always been around 4.3 or so, approximately. Okay, so that's basically average. So some are above 4.3, some are below 4.3, but that's the average. Anyway, that being said, students should always pick the number which reflects their experience. Everybody's experience is not going to be the same, right? 36 students in the classroom, I will not be able to reach everybody in the exact same manner, right? To do that, I have unofficial weekly evaluations. This is simply a Google form. It is again anonymous. And this is the space. It is kind of an ombudsman. How many of you have heard of the term ombudsman? OMBUDSMAN. It's like a middleman between two groups of people. Okay, it's a middleman between two groups of people. Let's say it's, for lack of a better example, workers and management. Workers might be hesitant to say something to management for fear of retaliation. So you have an ombudsman in the middle. Workers would tell the ombudsman their issues, and the ombudsman would carry that on and tell that to management without any fear, because now it's completely anonymous. So it's a middleman. And that's what this anonymous survey is going to do. It's serving as a middle person between you and me. It's a means for you to tell me if something is not working for you. Okay. And this is weekly. And I'll explain a little bit more about this. If you go into assignments, I'm almost out of time. And every Saturday of every single week, you have this Google form. It's completely anonymous. It does not collect any identifiable information. You could send this to your buddy sitting on a beach in Florida, and they could fill it out too. But please don't do that. You want this to be to your benefit, right? And so you choose your class, 01 or 02. choose the week that you're submitting, and then the same standard questions that Cal Poly asks. So I don't deviate from that. That makes things easier. Okay, the exact same questions, the exact same scale, 1 through 5, and then there's a space for some comments at the bottom. So if something's not working for you, you let me know. This is where you let me know here anonymously. Okay, so again, this is kind of like a middle person, an ombudsman between you and me. Now, I realize this is a bit of extra work, whether it's the official end of quarter evaluations or whether it's the unofficial weekly evaluations, it's an extra work. And so I provide extra credit to students. These are anonymous, so I don't know who has submitted this. And even if I did, I wouldn't be, it would be unfair to not award every student. So if I'm providing extra credit or doing extra work, then everybody is rewarded. And the extra credit is the total amount of 3 percentage points applied directly to your overall grade. So the official evaluations you fill out only once at the end of the quarter, right? Last week of classes. So depending on the response rate, meaning there are 36 students in the class, if 18 responses are coming through, the only thing I see at my end is 18 of 36. That is a 50% response rate. Every student in the class receives 0.5 points towards your overall grade. If you end up with a B plus, that 0.5 points could push you up into A minus. And whether a student submits or not, every student receives that extra credit. Okay. Anonymous. So the weekly evaluations is 1 every week, right? So 36 times 9. Week 10, you'll be submitting the official ones anyway. So unofficial evaluations every Saturday. There's no time limit. It's just a calendar limit. It's always open in the same form. 9 times 36, more than 300 evaluations. Again, what I will do is I will total up all the evaluations at the end. If I have, let's say, for instance, 300 out of 300, that's 100% response rate. Every student in the class will receive up to 2 points towards your overall grade. So 2 points for the unofficial ones and 1 point for the official ones. Total of 3 credit points applied directly to your overall grade. Okay. Now I don't expect I would get 100% response rate, but my typical goal is to get up to at least 80 or 90%. So if 90% of the students submitted, every student gets 0.9 points or 1.8 for the unofficial ones. Questions? Yes. Oh, here. Oh, important. Sorry. It's a good question. I sometimes tend to use acronyms without explaining. So this was just marked as important. This is actually for me to actually remember that I have to talk about this in class. And I never used to talk about it in class, the evaluation scale. I simply assumed that everybody is familiar with it. But, when I read that one, that's when I figured I should. All right, so almost out of time. Let me bring up the class notebook. Oh, the lecture videos. Again, as I said, this is being recorded. It'll be posted online. The only thing you're going to see is what you see on the screen right here. That's the only thing you will see. And so lecture videos is a link, both section 1 and 2. You can attend section 1 if you wish. You can attend section 2 if you wish. On the day of the quiz, you cannot switch to section 1 without letting me know. Let's say you have to, you have some function or something or some travel that you have to leave right after class. So you want to get done with class as soon as possible. So you might decide to attend the 8 a.m. class, which is fine. You can attend the 8 a.m. class. You don't have to let me know. But if it's a quiz, then you do have to let me know. Otherwise, Canvas will be locked for you. You won't be able to do a submission. Okay. Speaking of which, there is a quiz 0 that is coming up, and quiz 0 is nothing except you scan at least 2 pages. Even a blank page is fine. So scan 2 blank pages, create a single PDF file, and upload on Canvas, and you get 1 point. Okay, just want to make sure everybody's on the same page. Everybody can access the Canvas course website, and you upload it. So that's the lecture videos. Class notebook is basically Microsoft's OneNote. Okay, Microsoft's OneNote. So you sign up. How many of you use OneNote, by the way? That's good. Several of you are using it. It's a free software. No, not just to Cal Poly, for a public at large. OneNote is like a digital notebook where you can store everything pertaining to your lectures and your labs. Okay, it's a very powerful note-taking software, and that is what I use for this class. So I have this OneNote, and when you go through the class, right here, when you go through this class notebook, it'll ask you to log in. You log in with your Cal Poly ID, and you will be automatically added in. Yeah, I'll do that later. You'll be automatically added into the class notebook. And when I write in the notebook at my end here in class, let me share this. So if you signed up for the notebook, there's a section on there called Content Library, and you'll be able to see what I write in real time at your end. This frees up the students from burden of taking notes in class. Okay, my annotations automatically appear. So anything I write is synchronized in real time. Within a few seconds, it appears at your end. Okay, so if you don't feel like taking notes, my notes will be available to you. And then of course you can copy these slides onto a different section of the notebook, and you can take your own notes in there. Okay, so this is what I will use to teach in class. This one notebook feature with a class notebook. So again, I say every student must sign up, but I make it optional. I think it would be, I would strongly urge you and recommend that you sign up for the class notebook so it's available and visible to you. For the first week, there's also a discussion prompt where, right, introduce yourself. Now, it's a 10-point assignment, 5 points for a post and 5 points if you reply to someone else. The purpose of this is so that students can get to know each other. Now you're from the same cohort, so you probably know each other, but here's the space where you post a little bit something about yourself. There is no compulsion or mandate. If you don't wish to post anything private about yourself, you let me know, okay? And I'll make sure that you get the points. Do not leave it blank, meaning if you do not submit anything, you have to let me know. Okay, otherwise I'll assume that you chose, you just missed the assignment or something. But there are a few prompts on there. I went first. I've written it out. I tooted my own horn a little bit. And there are a couple of pictures I posted from way back in the day. And yes, I was a scary do-rag wearing, leather jacket wearing, riding motorcycle. Well, that's a long time ago. Long time ago. But this motorcycle, I had this for 10 years. Suzuki Hayabusa. It was the world's fastest factory stock production motorcycle in the world. One of the first ones that crossed 200 miles an hour. Yeah. I never went that fast. I'm still alive to talk about it, so I never went that fast now. Don't ask me how fast I went on it, though. That will remain a secret. Okay, and so there are several students who submitted it. The point is, I have like 100 students or so, then I would not, I'm not going to go in there and read everybody's personal information. But the point is that students get to know each other. Sometimes there are students who is like, okay, I didn't know that you also did the same thing. I like the same thing too. So there are hobbies that students have, and you might not have come across other students with those hobbies. Well, there are surprising things that happen. So hopefully some of you would make new acquaintances and perhaps new friendships via this discussion. All right, so we'll end class here today, and I will see you all on Wednesday.